law, we have at our national level a requirement for compensation for undue appropriation. That does not apply at state level. And in any case, it's not clear that regulatory changes would trigger a compensation requirement, because every day of the week regulators are doing things that affect the value of property up or down, and there's no compensation arrangements usually made. I think I've said a fair bit about networks. I just wanted to mention that we're seeing the emergence of smartphone taxi booking applications that connect passengers directly with taxi drivers. They'll grow in popularity. In my case, we had a competition antitrust case where the network said you can't have mobile phones in cars. We took that to court and made sure that drivers can have mobile phones. Of course, we realise there are safety issues and so on, but also there are big competition issues there. The 10% cab charge surcharge, we have referred that in the first place to a couple of relevant regulators as to whether or not that is excessive, particularly after the federal court found that cab charge had substantial market power. I've hardly mentioned rural and regional markets, which are much smaller, and where the issues are much more connected with availability than quality of service. I've not talked about the interaction of taxis and hire cars. I've said very little this morning about disability because of time. We had a forum early on of the disability sector. There was a massive attendance by all kinds of disability groups who are very concerned about the availability and service provided there. That's a very important thing. I've not said much about the link with the wider transport system, nor about the national implications in Australia of what's happening in Victoria. Other states are obviously very interested in what we're doing, nor have I discussed the optimal system of regulation. Do you have an independent regulator? Is it located in transport? Is it located in police? Is it located in an economic or consumer affairs area? And also, is it an independent body? Is it a commission? Is it just a single regulator? How does it operate? What's its role in government? If it is independent, in what respects is it independent? How's it funded? How's it staffed? Does it have a policy advocacy role or not? Quite a big range of questions there. So as I turn to the final part of my talk, I always say that when I'm a quarter of the way through my talk, I'm just getting towards the concluding part of it. I just wanted to say that obviously we have asked to look at things very broadly. We find it enormously interesting to see what's going on in other jurisdictions. We're very keen to talk to you during this conference and in other respects, and to learn what lessons you have learnt. We have got websites. You can easily find out what's going on in our inquiry. And we look forward to continuing dialogue with all of you. And I want to thank you once again for letting me speak for all this time about our subject of shared interest. Thank you for listening to me and for having me speak to you at this conference.